Welcome to the Unstandard Podcast. I'm your host, Andre Givenchy. I'm a multidisciplinary strategist/designer and the founder of Sagern. Let's get to it. One of the areas that have always fascinated me the most, and perhaps one of the most influential things in terms of how I approach design, is human behavior. Understanding how people behave, feel, think, and experience the world around them gives us the ability to design products that help people live and build better lives. But these wonderful insights can also be used for evil. What I'm talking about is digital psychology and how it can be leveraged to shape our online experiences, often without us even knowing. As a product designer and tech enthusiast, I've always been intrigued by the subtle ways companies influence our behavior. So let's pull back the curtain a bit and empower ourselves with knowledge. Imagine you're browsing Amazon, casually adding items to your cart. In those few seconds, you've already encountered multiple psychological principles at work. For example, you might find yourself drawn to a product page with dozens of glowing 5-star reviews. This is social proof in action, our natural inclination to follow the crowd. When we see others have bought and enjoyed a product, we're more likely to do the same. It's a powerful tool, but a double-edged sword, helpful when genuine, but potentially misleading when manipulated. Yet, social proof isn't the only principle at play. Can you recall a feeling of satisfaction when you finally hit that proceed to checkout button after a long browsing session? That's Hick's Law subtly guiding your hand. This principle recognizes that too many choices can be paralyzing. By simplifying the path to purchase and minimizing distractions, platforms like Amazon make it easier for us to take the desired action, spending money. This streamlining is even more evident in platforms like Shopify and Netflix, which utilize squeeze pages. These pages strip away all distractions, no menus, no navigation, leaving you with just one clear action to take. It's Hick's Law in its most direct form, designed to eliminate hesitation and drive conversions. Now those are two extremely effective and widely used principles, but there are more. When we look beyond simplifying choices and social proof, we'll often find the next big principle most people have encountered: reciprocity. Have you ever wondered why companies are so eager to give you discount codes or free downloads? This principle taps into our human nature and tendency to feel compelled to give back when we receive something. That free resource becomes an investment on their part, subtly encouraging you to reciprocate with your email address, your trust, and eventually, your wallet. Reciprocity ties into a broader concept known as the IKEA effect. We tend to value things more when we've put effort into them. Think about the cabinet you put together, the cake you made from scratch, the perfect desk setup, or your meticulously organized Notion workspace. Despite the initial complexity or hassle, you've invested time and energy into creating your perfect environment, treat, or system, and that investment makes you more attached to that thing. Platforms like Notion benefit from this principle heavily. This sense of investment takes on a slightly different and potentially more concerning form with cruises, timeshares, and in mobile games. The rise of point-based systems and in-game currencies tap into what's known as the cashless effect. By using a substitute for real money, cruise lines, timeshares, and games disconnect us from the true value of our purchases. It's the same principle casinos use with chips. When it doesn't feel like real money, we're more likely to spend more. Then there are subscription services. These platforms take a long-term view, calculating your lifetime value, or LTV. In other words, how much you're worth to them over time. This isn't technically a psychological principle, but does influence how companies choose to use certain principles, either ethically or non-ethically. But how? Well, the lifetime value informs everything from their marketing strategies to how difficult they choose to make it for you to unsubscribe. This practice is a churn reduction method and considered a dark design pattern. Platforms like Adobe have been reported as being big offenders of this tactic to minimize user churn or unsubscribes, but they are definitely not the only ones. So, what's the takeaway? Should we be outraged? Anxious? Neither, in my opinion. These principles aren't inherently good or bad. They're tools. The key is awareness.
Once you understand these tactics, you can make more informed decisions. As designers and developers, we have a responsibility to use these principles ethically. We should aim to enhance user experience, not exploit it. Transparency is crucial. Users should understand what they're getting into. For us as consumers, education is our best defense. We need to teach these concepts in schools, replacing outdated tech curricula with real-world digital literacy. Understanding these principles doesn't mean rejecting all persuasive design. It means engaging with it consciously. I've made changes in my own life based on this knowledge. I've walked away from purchases when I notice shady practices. But I also appreciate well-designed experiences that use these principles to genuinely improve usability. The fact is, the digital world isn't going anywhere. Neither are these psychological principles. But armed with understanding, we can navigate this landscape more effectively. We can appreciate good design while recognizing manipulation. We can use technology without being used by it. So next time you're online shopping, booking a vacation, or trying out a new app, take a moment to notice these principles at work. You might be surprised at what you see. And remember, knowledge is power. In the digital age, understanding the psychology behind our tech is the ultimate superpower. Let's embrace this knowledge, use it wisely, and shape a digital future that's both innovative and ethical. After all, technology should empower us, not control us.
If you enjoyed this episode, share and subscribe for more. See you next time, but until then, sending you love, peace, and creativity.